All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wichita Business Community Call. This is our fifth call, I believe, for the Wichita business community. We're here to come together to help each other, inspire each other, help each other through these crazy times. I'm really excited about today. We've got a great lineup for you. We've got some great topics to discuss. I've got some great people we're going to bring on the line. We have Connie with Retreat to Joy that's going to start us off with a little mindfulness. We have Sarah Haymaker that should be on with us with the SBA that will share some updates on that. And if she can't join us, then we can kind of share what we've seen going on with the SBA. Actually, hold on just a second. I need to change a setting here. All right, there we go. And then we've got some marketing stuff that we want to share with you, some good stuff that we've talked with some different charities and things like that we can look at partnering with some of them with, and a lot of great other topics we're going to get into. So if this is your first call with us, this is very interactive. We are going to open it up for a conversation probably about halfway through. And so if you guys got questions, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, we're going to open it up a little bit later. If you guys want to put your business names and any contact information in the chat box, I'm going to give you guys some shout outs here in a minute. Open up the chat there. Let me make sure that it's open. Okay, I think now the chat box open. You want to throw something in there, Kels? There we go. Boom. All right, cool. Welcome, Jason, Jabbar's Carpet Outlet, Brandon from Own It, Chrissy Robin, always good to have you from Hexco Designs, Sierra with Network Kansas. And I don't know if I ever pronounced that right. I always say Elena. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It's Alana or Elena with Falcons with Air Source Heating and Air. Sarah with the SBA, thank you for coming. We've got some great questions for you. Looking forward to some updates on the PPP and the EIDL. Carrie Miller, American Express, she will be on the call later to talk to us about some great programs she has. Tyson, what's up, buddy? Wichita Rentals, good to see you in Pinnacle Realty Group. Susan Lentz with Commerce Construction. Ed is a fixture on our calls. Ed with Trade Bank. If you guys haven't heard of Trade Bank, you guys need to get with Ed about trading services with other business owners. So welcome, everybody. I'm sure we'll have some stragglers come on. We usually have about 40 to 50 people on the call. We've got about 20 now, which is great. Those of you who are joining us on Facebook, if you guys have any questions, we're going to try and monitor Facebook as well to see if you guys have any questions you want to throw on. And we're just going to jump into it. So my name's Tony Javier. For those who don't know me, I am the founder of Professional Home Buyers. You've probably seen our TV commercials over the years. We've been investing since 2001, and we started Strategic Workspace a month before everything closed down. You guys have probably seen our building at Kellogg and Oliver. We transferred the old Davis Moore dealership into Class A Coworking Space. So we have private offices, we have co-working space, we have event venue. We planned on doing a lot of events for business owners, and that's why we're going virtual. And you guys are on this call. We are a member-based community, but we are opening up calls and things like this to you guys to help you guys navigate through what's going on right now, to help inspire you, get you through whatever it is that you're going through, help you find opportunities that you normally would not have found if this whole COVID thing hadn't popped up. And so that's one of the things I really like to press upon is opportunities. We've met so many great people over the last 3 weeks or so since we started going virtual. Relationships we normally wouldn't have had. We've got some business opportunities that are coming our way that we normally wouldn't have had this thing not come up. And that's what we're doing, is navigating and trying to figure out different ways to strum up business and do things while things are shut down. And so hopefully we'll be able to provide some value to you guys on how you guys can navigate through that and add some different opportunities to your businesses and how you guys can not only, again, survive through this, but also thrive. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to turn it over to Connie with Retreat to Joy. Connie, you want to unmute yourself? I'll give you about 5 minutes here and kind of tell us about what you do a little bit and throw some positivity at us.
I would love to. Thank you so much for having me come on this morning, Tony. And I want to just say I'm so happy to be with all of you. You know, Tony, that you've kept your energy going, you know, and outside of a brick and mortar space, you're bringing energy here and positivity. And this is really the time that we are rebuilding starting now. And really, it's a renaissance for Wichita business. So I'm excited. And I'm here this morning to give you a dose of positivity and looking at how to create resilience in your life during these times of uncertainty, with stress, with everything that's going on. So to keep in mind that fear gets its power from the future and from the past. When you're in the present moment space, that's the space where you have power and control, where you can create. So you're not changing the outside, everything that's going on and swirling around out there. What you're changing is the inside. And so mindfulness practices are skills and techniques that you can use to sharpen your awareness. And with greater awareness, you are getting into emotional intelligence, self-awareness, again, bringing back power and control to what you're doing in your personal life as well as your business. So mindfulness, it's a workout for your brain. It's building that mental muscle. And I'm going to pause right here because I haven't introduced myself. So I'm Constance Paraska. I'm founder of Retreat to Joy. We're a training and curriculum company based here in the Heartland. And we teach people how to develop resilience, more creativity, some calm, and better focus. I'm certified from the University of California, San Diego Medical School in MBSR. So that's a lot to say, but it's like saying that I have my master's in mindfulness. Right now, neuroscience is exploding with the power of our minds, with what we can do, and really showing the highlights, what we can do in business with the skill of being more present. Nobody has thought about before that our thoughts are so powerful. Right now they're on scale with nutrition and exercise, and some people are saying even more important. So the power is that we can create new neural pathways and help us get back to center if we're ever distracted and stressed and thinking too much about the past or the future. So what I brought along is a small mindfulness exercise. We can do this in just under 3 minutes. So I invite you to just come into a comfortable position in your chair. Uncross your arms and your legs. And you can close your eyes or just turn your eyes downward. And inviting you to just turn your attention inward. And beginning with the breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling. Just develop your own rhythm, not doing anything special. And then pause for a moment. And just notice any experience of kindness, gratitude, or awe that you have experienced today or recently. And this could be maybe your neighbor gave you a slice of pie. Maybe a business associate shared an unexpected contact. Or you watched the sunset. But really attune to the felt sense of the goodness of this moment. Maybe you feel a warmth in your body, a lightness in your heart, a little recognition of, wow, this is terrific. focus your awareness on this felt sense of goodness for 10 to 30 seconds. Savor it slowly, allowing your brain the time it needs to really register this experience and to store it in long-term memory. And set the intention to recall this memory 5 more times today. And this repeats the neural firing in your brain, recording the memory so you can recollect it later, and it makes it a resource for your own sense of emotional well-being, and thus strengthening the inner secure base of resilience. So this is totally in your power. You are learning how to do this, and you're becoming competent at creating new neural circuitry for resilience. So deepening your inhale, exhaling completely. Just when you're ready, flutter open your eyes and just feel that power and positivity that you can draw on anytime today.
Awesome. Thanks, Constance. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't practiced mindfulness or looked into meditation, you guys need to. It's a high performance habit. If you can do it at least, a few minutes, 5 minutes a day, if you can do it 20 to 30, even better. But for me, I know when I'm stressed or anxious or have a lot going on, even if I just stop for like 1 minute and do something like this, it's very powerful. So thanks, Constance. Any last words you want to say to the group?
No, I'm in for the call and looking forward to what everybody has to share. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Constance. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to move on. I know, Sarah Haymaker, you are busy. So we're going to let you jump in and give us some updates on the PPP and the EIDL. I think everyone's kind of wondering what's going on with that. So if you want to jump in and just tell us what you know. Oh, you're muted.
There we go. Sorry.
All good.
So what I know really isn't much, unfortunately. I think everybody has seen by this point that both programs are out of funding. I will tell you that the initial program, the EIDL, some people have gotten messages and some haven't, but those funds are starting to go out. If you likely have seen that they've updated everybody on how they're calculating that advance amount, and it's $1,000 per employee up to $10,000. For self-employed people, you do count as a 1,000. I will tell you the only way to check your application status is to call the customer service center or email them. There is nothing that we can do locally to check on the status of your applications, unfortunately. If you applied through the streamlined process that became available, it was like March 31st or March 29th. If you applied through that streamlined process, you should be okay. Now, I cannot guarantee that anybody, because of the level of funding, we're not accepting new applications. They're going to fund them in the order that they received them until they run out of funds. So there is discussion within Congress about adding funds to that program, but of course we know that has not happened yet. I will tell you that what I have heard from many business owners that have received it is that the first thing you're going to see, you may or may not get any kind of email message from SBA, but what you will see is you will see a credit inquiry on the number that you used to apply, whether that was your number or your business tax ID number. You're going to see a credit inquiry, and that is indication that your loan is processing. So if you've got some sort of credit monitoring and you see an inquiry, that's what it's for. It's not the underwriting process is not stringent on these. I don't know that there's an actual specific credit score that they're looking for, but it's just part of the process. They will run your credit. On PPP, again, those funds ran out sometime before sunrise here in Kansas. They ran out yesterday. So if you had an application already submitted to your bank, they still have it. We are not allowing input of any new applications into the SBA systems at this time. Now, for applications that were already input into the SBA system, there are some that reflect a status of approved pending funding. So if they got caught in that window where the funds were depleted, running out, and they had already submitted the application, then those will roll as soon as funding is added back to those accounts. But for now, all of our systems are locked down so that no new applications can be entered.
So just to clarify on that, Sarah, from what I understand from my bank is that if they have the application, they approved it and submitted it to the SBA for funding, then you're good to go. Right?
Correct. Yes.
It's just the ones that the banks were processing that haven't submitted it to the SBA yet for the approval. Those are the ones that could be stuck waiting for the second round.
Right. So if they got the approval with a loan number from SBA, then they're good to go. Now, that doesn't mean that they've all been dispersed. So from the time that the bank gets the approval from SBA, they have 10 days to disperse those funds. And that's 10 calendar days. So that starts when they get the approved amount as well as the number. So.
Okay, perfect. And then, so go into the EIDL. I think that's probably where there's a lot.
There's a lot that'll still be getting things tapped.
Oh, you there, Sarah?
Yep, I'm here.
Hold on just a second. Yeah, my network's fine. Sorry, go ahead. You cut out for just a few seconds there.
No, you were asking me about EIDL, and that's where most of the concern is.
Yeah, EIDL. So, from what I saw, there were two different ways to apply. One was you could download the forms, submit them online, and then there was the streamlined process where you could fill out the form online and then check the box that you wanted the advance for or wanted to be whatever the wording was, the $10,000
considered for the advance. Yeah,
considered. Yeah. And so so the people that submitted it and they checked the $10,000 box, you said the funds have run out. So does that mean that the people that submitted, if the funds ran out, there's still some people that are waiting for their funds that have been approved? Or if you haven't gotten your funds yet, you're not going to get them?
No, that's not true. So where we're at is that there are more applications in the system than what we have funding for. So funds are still being dispersed, but no new applications are being accepted because they are doing them in the order that they're received by that application number that people got. They're doing them in that order. So no new applications are being taken at this time because the funding, based on the applications that are there, all the funding will be used.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So there's two parts to the EIDL. There's the $10,000 advance, and then there's the other part of it. So when
Correct.
they say the funding's run out, they're talking about just for the $10,000 advance, correct?
They're talking about all of it.
All of it. Okay.
Yes. So additional funding was given in the CARES Act because prior to the CARES Act, we did not have that advance option available. So there was additional funding given for that. But all of it has basically been accounted for based on the volume of applications and what the loan request amounts are, or how it's being calculated. So I don't know that we have I locally have no insight into how much money has been spent. We aren't getting that kind of information. What we know is that there are enough applications to support every dollar that was appropriated. Therefore, we're taking no new applications because they are on first come, first serve.
Okay. So the people that submitted online, if they didn't get anything back as far as a lender contacting them to say, submit your paperwork and approval, none of those are still out there that are going to be approved. We have to wait for the second round of funding?
No, they're still processing them. So you still may be contacted. I mean, I heard yesterday of people getting that next step or seeing that they were getting their funds. So they're still processing them. So it's still this process with the EIDL, unlike Paycheck Protection, which was really instantaneous. I mean, it was you could, depending, I mean, you could apply and get some approvals and funds within, just a few short days. This process with applying for the EIDL loans, it takes up, 3 weeks or more assessing that full loan amount. So if you think of what the time frame has been, so people will be getting contacted and will still be getting their funding. I just can't tell you where we're at in the order of things.
Okay, gotcha. I'm going to open it up for questions. You guys can unmute yourselves. Anybody want to jump in and ask any questions of Sarah while we've got her on the line? Man, you guys are an easy group. Cool.
It's not hard when there's no money.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know there was a lot of confusion that I saw on Facebook on, the funds were out and if they applied, if they were going to get it. So I thought people might have more questions, but I think you maybe clarified all of that for us. When do you think that they're going to get back to everybody on when or if funds are going to be replenished for both programs?
So I have no insight into that. I know Congress is not in session currently. They're not scheduled to come back until May 1st. So we are waiting to see what happens in the next congressional session, or if they do something before then. Until then, we have no information or any idea on what funding will be and when it will come.
Okay, cool. Kelsey, you want to jump in? Is there anything you want to add before we finish up with Sarah and the SBA?
Constance put me to sleep this morning. She relaxed me so much. I'm ready for a nap. I think everybody else looks the same way I do right now. Plus our weather is crappy here, Tony. See, Tony's in San Diego, so he has no idea that it was like 75 degrees and sunny yesterday. And now it's like 30 and rainy and cold. And so everybody's vibe is probably mentioned, but it's Friday, guys. What? No?
It is it's cloudy here, if that makes you feel any better, but no, I appreciate it, Sarah. Any last words you want to say, and jump in if anybody has any questions while we've got Sarah. She's a phenomenal resource. If you guys have any questions, take advantage of it.
I do have a quick question for Sarah. Sarah, I understand the money is gone, and is there any logic? Can you still apply and then be put in the pool for the next round of funding, if that's possible?
So that's going to be up to the individual lenders. So check with your bank. Some of them, I talked to a lender this morning out in far western Kansas that said they are still accepting applications at their bank and putting them in a pool, basically, that as soon as funds become available and they are allowed to enter applications again, they have a plan to jump right on it. So I think that's going to be an individual bank decision. They just can't. The only thing that's stopped is us taking those applications from the lenders. So I have a feeling that a lot of lenders are going to still be taking those on the just in case we think there's going to be more funding.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Sure.
All right, cool. Anybody else? All right, fantastic. Well, Sarah, I guess I'll get with you this week if there's any updates.
Okay.
We're going to talk about whether we're going to continue the Friday calls later. So one way or the other, we'll be doing more calls later down the road. So I'd love to get some updates from you. And as always, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, sure. And I just want to, one last thing is that I really appreciate everybody's patience with me. I know that some of you have reached out to me and I have not been able to get back to you in what in a normal world would be any kind of reasonable time frame. My voicemail box stayed full most of last week as soon as I could get one off or more that filled back up again. So if I did not reach back out to you, I am very sorry. Things are changing so quickly that by the time, I got to that point, then the guidance had changed or the question was no, so I really do appreciate your patience and thank you for your support. And we're gonna keep trucking along and trying to get all of these issues figured out and resolved.
Yeah, we totally understand it. We know there's a lot of changes, and for the government and the SBA to build a multi-$100 billion business basically or program within a short amount of time has been something that none of us would probably want to take on. So we appreciate anything that you do.
Sure.
Help us out and give us updates.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, talk soon.
Thank you.
All right. Sure. See y'all soon.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
All right, cool. So I didn't introduce my co-host. I apologize, Kelsey. Kelsey Shackelford is our community manager at Strategic Workspace. Some of you guys have talked to her. She's been great at building relationships in the community. So I'll kind of turn it over to you, Kelsey, if there's anything that you want to add. I know we talked about kind of dates for things opening back up, and I know there's debates back and forth on whether people think we should open up or not open up. So that's not something we necessarily want to debate right now. It's more, I guess, preparing for opening up. So Kelsey, you want to
Yeah,
jump in?
so my take on it is kind of like if we were listening to what our governor said the other day with the 2 more week extension, then we're looking at like 30 days out before we could potentially be opening our businesses back up and going back to work. And my thought is, most of us plan at least 30 days in advance. And I know we haven't really been able to do a lot of planning right now, or as of lately, it's been a little crazy. But I'm wondering, are you guys thinking sort of normal? I think that when that 2 weeks that she's extended things is up, I think we're going to be okay. But that's just my opinion. So I'm curious, what are you guys thinking? Chrissy, talk to me this morning.
Actually, you broke up in there a little bit, so I was trying to piece together what had broken up. Can you ask your question one more time?
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I was saying that, with the extension till, I think it's May 15th, 2 more weeks stay-at-home order from our governor, but that's 30 days from now. So I'm thinking that we need to start planning like in 30 days, kind of what our next move is going to be and be prepared to get open again. And I was just kind of wondering if everybody else is feeling that same way, thinking that same way.
I thought the stay-at-home order was till May 3rd. Am I wrong on
May
that?
3rd?
Yeah.
I heard 2 more weeks, so May 3rd?
Yeah, I
So
heard it was
way
extended
sooner.
until May 3rd, which, was pretty much 2 more weeks from when she talked about it, which is like in 2 weeks from now-ish.
Oh, so I misunderstood it. I thought it was like 2 more weeks from where we were at, like the 30th.
Well, because originally we were supposed to open up on the 24th. Maybe I'm off.
Yeah, that's weird because I heard both dates too. So
you heard both dates too. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I'm off, but anyways, yeah, Jason in the comments is like, it may be May 3rd, but it will get extended. So no, what we're doing is we're preparing, we're keeping a close eye on everything. And of course we have a bunch of clients that were like, as soon as we can open up and get things going safely, let's do it. Because we have lots of clients in the restaurant and entertainment industries. So we're ready to kind of get that going and moving. My plan right now is, my plan of attack has been to just continue to monitor and watch. And I mean, of course, I'm ready to open up, see people again. I have started to transition a little bit and have been coming up to the office a little bit more, as you guys can see my bright pink wall today. But yeah, I'm hoping for an open up soon. As a business owner and as somebody that works with small to medium sized business owners, economy wise, that's just going to be the best thing that we can do, and hopefully do it safely and work through it. I am a big proponent of, I don't know that we're going to go right back to normal right away, that we're going to have kind of a new normal for a while. So all I'm doing is monitoring, planning, and moving in that direction as quickly as possible. So.
Yeah, I think whether it's May 4th or May 30th or June, or some people are saying 6 months, which is, I think, a little overboard. But regardless of what it is,
No.
I think everybody just needs to take advantage of the time we have right now. Mm-hmm. Even though there's some business that cannot be done, a lot of the things. So we've been doing, mastermind groups the last few weeks online. We've been doing these calls. we've had a lot of great conversation with business owners, and the ones that I think get it are the ones that are building their online presence. They are reaching out to their customers. They are, even if they can't produce income from their customers, building value to them somehow, whether it's, sending them positive messages, it's reaching out to them and with a phone call saying, how are you doing? It's, getting maybe education and articles together to be able to give to their clients. I mean, just right now is the time that you can really be focusing on the things that you couldn't focus on. Well, I shouldn't say couldn't, but you did not focus on because you were so busy with clients and customers and meeting people in person. It's a great opportunity. It's, these calls right here, again, there's people on this call and on our previous calls, we have given a lot of value to, they've given a lot of value to us. We built relationships with them, and it's something that we normally would not have been able to do. And so again, even though, there's a lot of craziness, there may not be able to be business be done right now. Take this time to work on yourself, to work on your message, to work on providing value to your customers while you have it. And as Chrissy has said, many people have said open rates right now are skyrocketed. People are on Facebook more. So if you have Facebook ads out there, they're going to reach more people. We have TV commercials out there. TV commercials, the reach, I think, or the audience has, I think, doubled or quadrupled on some stations. So the same amount of money we're spending right now is hitting 2 to 3 times as many people. So I guess what I'm getting to is even though we can't do business in some respect, there's still a lot of things that you guys can work on to build your brand, build your message, and get in front of the people that maybe you normally would not have gotten in front of because they are not as busy. Especially if you're a B2B business, this is the time right now to hit your B2B customers that you normally wouldn't have hit, or even the ones that are customers now, following back up with them, and maybe people you couldn't have gotten a hold of 2 months ago, you can now get a hold of. So a lot of opportunity out there. I'm going to keep stressing opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. You just have to find it, find the silver lining, and figure out how to make it work. And, there's the free money that people are getting right now is crazy. Some people need it and some people don't need it as much, but either way, there's programs out there that you guys could take advantage of. Obviously, the money is out for the 2 programs we talked about earlier, but there are other SBA loans out there that you can look into that have lesser restrictions now, that have better terms. So, there's time to look into those types of things. Anything you want to add to that, Kelsey? I'm going to turn it over to Carrie with American Express.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's a perfect segue over to Carrie.
All right, cool. Carrie with American Express, we talked a couple weeks ago, I believe. We got reconnected. I know Earl in her office, and they shared some programs with me, and I thought, this would be perfect to bring her on to share the programs they have to help business owners. So Carrie, you want to take it over and let us know what you guys are seeing on your side and what programs you have to offer?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me okay?
Hear you perfect.
Okay, great. So thanks for having me, Tony. Really appreciate the time and just wanting to share a little bit about my role with American Express and what we can do to help your businesses. So I'm the local manager of business development. So I'm based out of Wichita. I work virtually out of my home. I am usually out meeting with customers on a regular basis, or clients or potential clients, but I'm doing a lot of phone meetings and WebEx meetings, as I'm sure all of you guys are as well. And really, there's a lot of ways American Express can help businesses. A lot of people really think of us as a card that you use for travel expenses or entertainment and that type of thing. And while that's certainly a big part of our business today, we're also helping a lot of companies earn a financial return on all of their expenses up to and including payroll. So whether that's earning membership reward points or cash back on that, my role is to really show you how you can do that and get the best return for your business. So especially in today's environment, I've had a lot of clients reach out just to see what we offer, in terms of helping to better streamline some of their payments so they can manage them virtually. and they don't have to necessarily be in the office. So we do have solutions that work with your existing accounting software as well to help really streamline and automate that process, and also allows you to keep your vendor history in the system, because that is important if you want to run reports and see who you've spent your money with. There is a way to keep that information there. So part of my job is just coaching you through how to best handle that in your system as well. And then, also in addition to the financial return benefits you're going to get that can help your business, whether that's growing your business or helping you achieve a personal return or benefit, there's also some cash flow benefits that you can achieve by using American Express instead of cutting a check or sending an ACH out the door. So a lot of my clients are really using this program to help fund the gap in between the time that they're getting their payments or they're having to pay their suppliers, and then the time that they're receiving payments from customers. And all of our programs that I represent are really what's considered a charge card product, which means you pay the full balance when the balance is due. So you have your 30-day billing cycle, and then up to 30 days depending on the program to pay American Express back, which still gives you a lot more time with your cash than if you were to send a check or make a payment with an ACH with your checking account. So you're getting those cash flow benefits and then also earning a return on that as well. And then, a lot of business owners that I work with too still need some additional working capital in addition to using the card for making payments. So we do have a lot of options as well for short-term funding that are a lot more economical than, say, financing a balance on a card product. So my goal is always to show you what options are available and how to most economically fund that if you need some additional funding. We were working on stuff as well for our existing business clients with the PPP government funding loans as well. I know hopefully if and when there's a second round of funding, we'll be able to help some of our business clients with that too. But overall, there's a lot of solutions that we have. And my role really is to work with you, discover what your business goals and objectives are, and then show you how you can use American Express to achieve those. So I've worked with clients in the Wichita area for about 18 years, just over the course of my career. So I really have a vested interest in making sure Kansas is getting all the money back that they can so that we can grow our local community. So definitely feel free to reach out. Tony has my contact information. If there's anything that we can do for you guys, definitely feel free to reach out and let me know.
Awesome. Thanks, Carrie. So just to summarize, there's 3 programs that I got out of that. One is what everybody knows about, which is the credit card. So you pay that off every month. You get, you don't pay interest, and you get reward points. The second thing, which we're checking into, which I didn't realize you had, was being able to pay vendors through you guys and then paying that off within 30 days, I believe, and getting rewards through that as well. So again, there's a credit card, and then the second one I just mentioned is more like the ACH, where if you write a check or you do some kind of transfer to somebody, that can go through you guys, and you can earn rewards on that. And then the third thing would be some sort of loan for a small business that they could use for operations. Am I summarizing that correctly?
Yeah, so typically when you're using the American Express card program, so there's a lot of companies that use it for travel and entertainment, and then they also use the card to pay as many vendors as they possibly can. So there's a lot of suppliers that you're using that will accept a card for payment. So we want to put all of those on a card if we possibly can, because that's going to give you the best return for you. And then there's also an option, for those suppliers that don't accept a card, where we do have a wire platform that we can use to electronically transfer those funds to, and allows you to earn a reward on that as well. And then in addition, yes, we have the short-term financing solutions too. In today's environment, things are changing on a regular basis. So we just have to check everyone's, availability at that particular time. But yes, lots of different options. And then in addition, we have a lot of tools that are complementary to all of our card programs that really just help to, help you better manage your expenses, submit payments to vendors, and just help your business be more successful. So Yeah. Any other questions?
Anybody have any questions they want to jump in on while we've got Carrie? All right, fantastic. Carrie, I think you sent me a flyer. If you have any other information you can send over that would be helpful, like a quick overview of the programs, I'll see if I can't send that out to everybody. That way they
Okay.
have it and they can maybe visualize a little bit better. So,
Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it.
all right. Thanks, Carrie. All righty. So we're going to start with the more interactive part of our call. I just want to open it up. I want to hear some wins. Does anybody have some wins they want to share from this week? Whether it's, maybe they did something that they normally wouldn't have done. They started a new blog, started a new platform, had a customer that they couldn't get a hold of. I don't know, anything you guys want to throw out. I just want to share some good wins with the group to kind of have that get that good feeling in here. Anybody want to share some wins? Ed, what you got?
Well, guess what I got done this week? I don't know if you saw it, but I got done a shortened explainer video that's only 1 minute long that doesn't use the big language that I like to use.
That is a huge win. We've been talking about that for a few weeks now. It hadn't been a long time, but Ed's in our mastermind group, and we talked about that a couple times, and so that's awesome. And I think a lot of businesses that not a lot, but at least a handful of businesses have talked about that exact same thing. Is we've got a service, a product, something that is amazing. It's just people don't understand it. And so that's what Ed was talking about, just having a 1 minute explainer video. Did you post that somewhere, by the way?
Yep, 316 Networking. And then I hooked up with Richard Vargas from Interlingual Translating Service. I think, I don't know how to say that. Anyway, but so he jumped on Trade Bank and we got him to translate what I said, which he had to translate from Australian into American English into Spanish. So, and so now we're going to do it, and I'm going to replace all the English words and the English voiceover with a Spanish voiceover, but it's not going to be me.
Awesome. That's cool, Ed. Good win. Jason and Jabara said, we received our PPP and we're still in business. Is that a win? Heck yeah, it is. Jason's got a big operation over there at Jabara's Carpet Outlet. So that is a huge win. I'm glad to hear that, Jason, that things are rolling still. Who else wants to share a win? Chrissy, what you got?
I got a win this week. I have a client. I had somebody reach out to me that I have been talking to for 2 years to finally become a client this week. So that is a huge win. They just took their company national and they would like us to do their strategy and branding and everything moving forward. So I'm pretty excited about that. That was a big win this week.
Great.
Congrats, Chrissy. Chrissy with Hexco Design has a marketing agency. Wins this week for our company. This is from, I think I say your name right, Haley. More companies from our workspace are realizing the value of remote call answering services, learning more about the importance of managing our social media accounts during COVID, and finding more ways to reach out to our members to keep relationships strong. That's awesome. Haley's got a space out in LA, Coworking Space, kind of like ours. And actually, we're going to model what they're doing. So they have she's talked about remote answering services. They call it a virtual office. So for those people who don't necessarily need an office space, or maybe just need it every once in a while, having services like providing mail and providing phone answering for companies, and you being able to use that address, which is typically a good address, like ours is on Kellogg, which most people recognize. So instead of having to use your home address, you're able to use, our office address, which makes you look more legit. So that's cool. So we're going to model after them, and it's cool that they've found some good out of this as well. So who else would like to share some good stuff? Constance, back to you.
Will. Yeah. I've got to say the last 3 weeks have been surprising and really good because I've made the shift from, mindfulness, in-person teaching, going into businesses, organizations, and doing it online. I didn't think it would translate well, but I'm really surprised that clients that I had lined up to go into their offices were still continuing online, and new clients are showing up, and we're going to have new offerings and programs for entrepreneurs specifically and small business. So I'm excited. It's good.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Constance. Luke has been on many of our calls, says he's been able to build more B2B connections and agreements for vehicle services, even while the virus is going on, solidified 2 and working on 3 more. Awesome, Luke. Anything you want to attribute to that?
I'll just talk. That might be faster.
There you go.
I would say it's probably more of the people being like the other companies being optimistic and looking out and projecting, seeing that their businesses are not slowing down, and they were kind of hesitant at first because I really started talking with them before this happened, and then they wanted to wait to see what their business would do, and probably they got some of their money too for PPP or whatever it might have been, and they're like, oh, okay, well we see where this is going, and let's move forward. So I probably would say a lot of it's that, and just staying in contact and building a relationship even while this is going on, and they're able to say that we weren't going to falter either. So
very nice. So I think two things I got out of that. One is you're staying in contact with those people so they know you're still in business and still optimistic. And then by doing that, you're able to see that they're optimistic and they have funds because of the PPP to be able to do business with you still. So that's perfect, because I think a lot of people think that other businesses are really scared right now, which there are a lot that are, but if you can hit the ones that are still optimistic, that got their money from the PPP, that are still trying to keep the doors open, don't be afraid to reach out to them, sell your services, and continue to do business with them. So thanks for sharing.
I would say also just one last part on that is during that whole week time frame where everybody was completely unsure, and before they made the announcement that the PPP was going to happen or the SBA loans, is I didn't mention services at all. It was just, hey, Andy, how are you doing? Tell me about what's going on in your life. Anything I can do for you. Just can't stop over and bring you a coffee, but just to be an ear to listen, that kind of thing. And I think that went a lot further than trying to say, oh, we can do this for this amount off, and we can do, trying to be salesy. And I love building relationships, so that was really easy for me, and it made their walls fell down.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot in our mastermind calls, is calling out and just reaching out to make sure your customers are okay, and they just want to talk. Like a lot of people right now just want to talk. They're stuck at home. They're with their family 24/7, which could be a good thing or bad thing, right? And they just want to be heard, and they want to be cared for. So that's awesome. Alana said, I had 6 new potential clients find me with our social media posts and are giving them bids to replace equipment. One company does house flipping and sale, and we already did a large job for them, and they want to do similar jobs to be 3 a week. Very exciting for our small business. Awesome. Good win. Congrats, Alana, for that. Anybody else want to jump in and share some good stuff with the group? Going once, going twice. All right, cool. Well, thanks for sharing, guys. Again, a lot of opportunities, a lot of great stuff still going on. You guys just have to stay optimistic and just add value to what you're doing, and people will come to you. Last thing I'll say on that is, a lot of businesses are, maybe a little scared or maybe stalled, and your customers right now are thinking certain things right now. So reaching out to your customers is letting them know that you're still in business, that, when things open up and they need you, that they're still going to come back to you. So, all right, cool. So I'm going to open it up for kind of the mastermind side of the call. So those of you guys know, we run mastermind groups. We've gone from doing them in person to virtual, which has actually been really cool. We've been able to reach more people with them. So I want to kind of transition to that. So the mastermind groups are really for business owners to be able to talk through challenges, kind of like a board of directors, where they can just throw something out, talk through it, whether it's a business opportunity they're trying to take advantage of, someone they're trying to hire. It could be, I don't know if I should, shut the doors for a few weeks before I open back up. whatever challenges you have, you can bring to a group like that. So I'll just open it up for maybe, 2 or 3 people to throw something out there that they want to talk through. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be their challenge, maybe just a topic in general that we can talk through to kind of bring together a lot of brains to, I guess, just touch on that topic and help the group out. So does anybody want to throw anything out there that they'd like to talk through?
I think I'm having trouble learning how to read a calendar.
What do you mean by that?
I'm just kidding. I was just making a joke about how I didn't know what day we were supposed to be reopened.
Oh, I gotcha. I understand. We'll talk you through that offline. All right, cool. Anything else, Kelsey, that I guess we can talk about some of the sessions we've had with businesses over the last couple weeks. What are some big topics that you remember that we can kind of discuss with the group to share with them?
Well, I mean, let's see. We've talked about so many things. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. You put me on the spot.
I mean, I have something we could talk through.
Yay!
Let's do it.
We can always count on Chrissy.
I will always speak up. So one of the hard things right now that I've had with a couple of businesses that we've been talking to is the hard part about planning coming out of this. And I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but with things being so up in the air, because like Tony said, you heard possibility of May 15th, May 3rd, all of those things. It's all over the place, and kind of planning your business moving forward. One of the things to think about is what do you do when you can't plan forward? Like I have clients that I'm trying to plan out the next 3 months for them, and clients that I had planned out the first quarter for them when we were in January. We were planning out April and things like that for the year. And I can tell you, when we planned out things for April and January, it did not look like this at all. So kind of thinking through as a business, what do you do when you can't plan?
What can you do when you can't plan? So those businesses, so pretty much most of those businesses have to be open in order to be able to do business, right? They're like restaurants and like brick and mortar type places.
Yeah, I mean, we have a business right now that is closed because they have to be closed. They're in the entertainment industry. We're continuing to do their marketing and stuff like that, and their engagement has shot through the roof. We had a post the other day that had over 200 comments on it. It's been fantastic. They've done really well with that, but we're going through that process right now of planning the reopen, but being cautious about planning the reopen, that kind of stuff. I just don't know if other businesses kind of want to talk through what they're doing and things like that. That might just be a fun discussion to kind of open up right now.
Yeah, I think that's a great discussion. Anybody else want to jump in there? I've got maybe a thought or two. Anybody else want to jump in and kind of give their thoughts on what they're doing to prepare for reopening?
Well, to me, it's almost like a relaunch of my business. The nice thing about this, the positive thing is that it's given me some time to work on my business instead of working in my business and doing some of these things and doing some planning time. It's almost like when you go to launch your business and you got your business plan done and you got everything set up. So what we did was we looked at what are the things that I've been too busy to be working on, and that including updated my social media, getting the message right, struggling to get the trade bank message right and getting it out to people. And almost we've sat down and written out a new business plan of how we move forward without knowing when we're going to open back up. So having contingencies in place if we don't open till June, if we don't open till August. So we've put that into our business plan, and that's given me a piece that I didn't have before.
Right. Yeah, I think a couple thoughts that I have. One is, is there anything that businesses can do right now that maybe they didn't do before? Like, for instance, if it's a restaurant, is it Is there anything virtually they can do? Maybe it's cooking classes. Maybe it's something virtual they can do for their customers. Maybe it's a virtual happy hour where they get people on a call, and it's I'll use Yaya's for example. Yaya's happy hour. You get on and socialize with people that typically go to Yaya's or a restaurant. Is there a gift card program? Are there because even though people aren't open, there's a way to still do business. It may not be quite what it used to be, where they could do 100, 200 customers a night or whatever it is, but still being able to do something. And then what Ed talked about, and I think what we've talked about already, is what can you add to your customers right now, so when that day does come, whether it's May 3rd, May 15th, May 30th, when you open, your customers have seen you, they've gotten value from you. And you may actually even be able to get customers from other people that they're not doing anything right now, right? And you get your message in front of them, or you add value to them, and all of a sudden they go, well, I used to go over there and get my services there, but this person reached out to me in a tough time. So, I'll use that service instead of somebody else I used to use. So there's a lot of customers you could probably get that you normally couldn't have. Any other thoughts? Anybody else doing some pivoting or things to kind of prepare for when you guys open?
Hey, Tony, one thing that we're doing is a lot more video, kind of Facebook Live type stuff to stay in front of people. And I'm letting everybody know that we talked to and previous customers, saying, hey, even if we're not servicing your vehicle to some extent, we're still here for you if you just need to talk. And then we've got a huge response from that. I mean, a lot of people are calling us and texting me and everything. So it's been amazing. I've had a few people say, "Who do you think you are?" But I think it's probably because they're in a tough situation, because there's not a bad relationship there. It's just more of a stressed out situation, and usually the conversation ends in a good way. So that's kind of something that we've been doing, and I've gotten to know some pretty interesting stories from some customers. It was like cancer stories and just backgrounds I never thought anybody would open up to. So it's been interesting. And then also I want to give out kind of a shout out to that mastermind class. That was a good learning curve for me, and getting to sit in on that. I really enjoyed that. So
awesome. Thanks for that, Luke. Appreciate it. So just to touch on that again, so were those just regular posts you did? Were those Facebook Live videos? Were they educational videos? Like, touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, so the first one was just a Facebook Live, and then the rest of them are going to be posted to several platforms after they're done. So it'll be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, probably. I'm not sure on that part, but and they're going to be tutorials. They're going to be just a mix of everything, and we're going to get feedback from customers and potential customers and see what they'd like to hear, and put that together. Maybe do some Zoom type stuff. Who knows?
Very nice. And so you're getting in front of customers you normally wouldn't have, right?
Right, exactly. And what we're trying to do is encourage people, like if they know somebody or a business that might benefit from listening in just to talk, we're inviting them to do that. It's definitely open to that possibility.
Very nice. So going back to you, Chrissy, you threw out that question. Was there anything, did you get some nuggets from there? Or was there anything else you kind of wanted to expand on to help you with that?
No, so of course we work with small businesses and medium-sized businesses, and we've had a lot of fun getting creative right now. And it's been fantastic seeing some of those businesses make some changes and add some services that they're gonna continue moving forward with. That's been a lot of fun, being really innovative right now. I've been doing a challenge for the last couple of weeks that's been fun and interesting, and they were talking about how being decisive right now is so key for businesses. And I've noticed that there's been a lot more decisiveness and a lot less of kind of talking things to death with some of our business owners on that change and innovativeness, because why not right now? why not just go ahead and move forward with that decision and see what happens? And it's turned into some awesome things. So no, I just wanted everybody to kind of talk about it.
All right, cool. Awesome. So one of the things that we've been doing to shift and change, like I said, is events like this online and doing some free stuff for the community. I told you about and kind of mentioned our mastermind events. That's something I'm really passionate about. So we meet with our mastermind group about 4 hours every month. And it's just a way for us. It's a smaller, intimate group. It's usually about 8 to 12 people. And everybody has an opportunity to talk about what's going on with them for the last month. To have a little bit of accountability to say, hey, this is what I said I would do last month, and here's how I did, and the group keeps them accountable. If there's a struggle you have, if there's something you're trying to put in place, then that's a group that can talk you through it. And so I'm going to put a link in the chat box. I've been opening up free sessions for our mastermind, even though it is membership based. So if you want to take part in that, we have our next one on Tuesday from 12 to 3 or 12 to 4. I can't remember, but I'll put the link in there. It's just a way to, what's that?
3 o'clock.
12 to 3. Thanks, Kelsey. So it's a great way to meet local business owners, really get to know them. People ask if it's like BNI. Even though there's a lot of referrals shared in the group and a lot of partnerships, it's not quite a BNI. It's more intense. It's more diving into your business and helping you with true struggles in your business. Chrissy's a part of our group. Luke's been a part of our meetings. Ed's a part of our group. Anything you guys want to say about that, just to kind of touch on that and kind of give your experience with that?
One thing I would say is I don't think it's like BNI at all. I love the vulnerability that you can have in those groups. Like I've built relationships in there, yes, but being able to talk to another business owner that's gone through some of the things that I'm going through now and has come out the other side and been able to add to that is fantastic. And it gives me that place to actually talk through some of those struggles you have as a business owner that you can't relate to with other people that don't own a business. Like I love my husband and my friends, but right now they don't understand what I'm going through as being a business owner, the nervousness, the excitement, all that kind of stuff. So that's one of the things I love about it, is that you can get in there, be vulnerable, actually talk through those problems without the worry of somebody judging you or anything like that. And I can tell you, yes, I've done business with people that I've been in masterminds with, but you build a relationship that's on a whole nother level because they know your business deeper than a lot of the outside people do.
Yeah, very cool. Ed, what do you think?
Well, great answer, Chrissy. She stole all the good points, so I had really nothing left.
That's why I talk up so fast.
Yeah, I got to learn that from you. So normally talking is not my problem. Kelsey just normally makes me go last anyway, so I'm indoctrinated. I've been a BNI member for 10 years, and let me tell you, love BNI, but BNI and masterminds are not compatible. They're not the same thing at all. It's a totally not even on the same planet. The masterminds for me is having a group of focused business owners that are willing to commit not only their time, and all of our time is valuable, to take 3 or 4 hours out of our day to do that. And I'm with you, Chrissy. I like the idea of a longer couple of day mastermind that you can really focus. But normally what I tend to find here in Wichita is people don't want to spend any money, and so they really need to understand that you get what you pay for. So while a free mastermind is great, and thank you for putting that on, otherwise I would have never been able to come to the first one. But having done masterminds before that cost money, right? And Tony, you've said this before. You've been to ones that cost you $20,000.
Yeah.
Your prices are so great, and just the fact that you've got business owners there focused on learning, overcoming challenges together as a group. It's almost like your own board of directors. I think somebody mentioned that earlier, but that for me, a mastermind makes sense, and anybody that wants to take their business to a next level needs to get people outside of their industry getting eyes on the problems they're having in their industry, because sometimes somebody outside their industry can see better. So I love it. Two thumbs up from me.
And then I'm going to build on that because I'm not myself a business owner, but we are talking about developing a group for a like higher level executive as well. So the business owners who might need, you know, their key decision makers, people that work for them, to also have a group like this that they could participate in.
Well, you treat it like an ownership. I mean, Kelsey, that's really the point. You treat it like an ownership, so it is like it's your business.
Thank you. Oh, I'm proud of it. So, I mean, Tony makes it easy.
Thanks, Kelsey. All right, cool. So that's the last thing we'll talk about with that is that, you know, if you guys want to join us Tuesday, you can come check it out. So we'd love to have you. Last thing I think I want to talk about, and then we'll kind of open it up to the group for anything else anybody wants to share or talk about, is we have a Monday call with local charities. Someone, I think, jumping on the call and said, one of our Friday calls and said, hey, we need to do something like this for local nonprofits. And so we set up a Monday call. We've done the last 2 Mondays, and we'll do it the next 2 Mondays, just to help out nonprofits, basically just talking them through. It's almost mastermind style. We only meet for an hour, but it's like, hey, what are you guys going through? What are your challenges and things like that? And then one of the things that came out of that, which will help you guys, is, 3 years ago when I had my 2-day masterminds, Ed and Chrissy mentioned 2-day masterminds. I used to do 2 full-day masterminds, which in our groups, Chrissy, we're going to start doing those once or twice a year, by the way, Ed and Chrissy. So I'm going to add those soon. But a few years ago when we used to do our real estate masterminds, we had a marketing speaker come, and she talked about cause-based marketing. And cause-based marketing, just to simplify it, you guys have probably seen, I think it's Tom's that does, if you buy one shoe, we'll donate one shoe to charity. On Shark Tank, there's a company, someone remind, Bombas? Bombas. They started their company recently, and they've done, I think, at least 100, if not $200 million just in the last few years. And they sell socks. And when they sell a pair of socks, they give us a pair of socks to the homeless. And so I want to encourage you guys, if you guys have a charity that you can think of that you can tie your business to. So like for professional home buyers, we used to do stuff with Habitat for Humanity. So that tied with our business. It was, homes, right? So it made sense. So if there's anything you guys can think of that would tie with your business, it doesn't necessarily have to 100% correlate with your business. Maybe it's just a passion of yours. So if you can find a charity to align with, the statistics show that when you have a cause aligned with your message, and it needs to be genuine. You don't want to just throw something out there just to throw it out. But if you have a genuine cause that you support and you can put that in your message, people are, and I'll have to look up the numbers. I keep saying I'll look up the numbers and I forget to, but it's astronomically higher, the amount of people that want to do business with you because you're lined up with a cause. So if you guys want to be lined up with one, we have, Kelsey, what do we have? 10 to 15 nonprofits, I think, in that group. And I think it's growing because people are telling other nonprofits about it. If you guys want to be aligned with one, let us know and we can probably hook you up with one. Or if you want to join us on the Monday call to see what nonprofits are on there, to see what charity you could align with, we'd love to have you on those calls. Actually, Kelsey, do you want to pull up that link and you can just throw the Zoom link in there?
I'm going to go ahead and I'll just share our whole event page because there's a lot of things on there that you guys can take a look at. The masterminds, the community calls that we do, and then anything else that we have going on will be there too. So.
All right, sweet. Cool. Well, we have about 20 minutes left. Again, we'll just open it up to you guys. I want this to be more about you guys and what you guys need than anything. Does anybody else want to throw some stuff out there to talk about? No?
Hey, Tony.
What's up, Luke?
Yeah, so just kind of go on. I don't want to sound like a, broken song or anything repeating, but if anybody ever wants to or needs to talk, just get anything off their mind or whatnot, we're always available.
Very cool. A few comments in the chats that I'll just read off. Haley said, virtual events have been huge. Our center, and she's the one that runs the Coworking Space in LA. Our center has created a Wellness Wednesday 30-minute segment It helps promote movement and physical activity while we are working from home. We learned that this was better received than virtual events that might feel like meetings. We are gently trying to prioritize our community's mental and physical health, even while distancing. That's a really good point there. I don't know if you guys have seen the numbers, but domestic abuse, child abuse, I think even like depression, anxiety, like all these numbers of like things that are going on that are negative have really skyrocketed. So if there's anything you guys can promote to your communities to help with that, I'm an introvert by nature. I don't mind being inside a little bit more, but those that are extroverts are probably going crazy, not being outside and talking to people and networking and stuff like that. So if there's any value you can provide to, your customers or your following, I think everybody needs positivity right now. Constance says we are doing a free community meditation and training on Wednesday at noon. She'll send me the link. Awesome. I'll see if I can't get that out to the community. We can maybe put that on our event page. Kelsey, let's talk about that.
All right. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'd be interested in that too for my group, Connie. So I've been doing some Zoom calls with local businesses that work with seniors, and we just did a really good one the other day that we recorded with in-home care and hospice companies. And they said that this is really having a good impact on them, that they're using technology today the way they should have been using it all along. And it's really helping families connect better and be part of the process and help them be able to know what's going on with their loved one and participate in those conversations. And seniors are learning how to use technology themselves, using their phone, a tablet, or computer for telehealth. And sometimes their in-home worker helps them with their doctor's appointment over the phone. So it's pretty cool to see seniors and the healthcare industry transforming and making the most out of these video conferencing services.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Catherine. I've got some last thoughts, but I'll let anybody chime in if they want to and share any other good stuff they want to share. All right, sweet. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us. This is the last Friday call we committed to. We're going to put it together a schedule. What'd you say there, Kelsey? It's not today at 1? Is there something?
Jason Jabara sent me a message and asked if the mastermind was today at 1, but it's not. He got off the call, so I couldn't respond to him. I was just letting you know.
Okay. I'll get with him after this.
Okay.
All right, cool. I can't remember where I was going, but
I think you were wrapping it up.
Yeah. No. Oh, okay. Friday calls. Yeah. So we committed to this last one. We're going to get some feedback. We'll probably end up continuing the Friday calls. I'm not sure if we're going to do it weekly or if we'll do it monthly, but either way, we are going to add value to this community. Actually, right now, if you guys want to type any kind of topics you think would be good, I think we might start making this a little more topic-based, where we can provide weekly calls that are topic-based. So if there's anything that you guys want to learn about, is it marketing? Is it team building? Is it building an online platform? What do you guys want to learn about? So if you guys want to share that in the chat room, that would be awesome. If you're on Facebook, we'll check the Facebook messages here in a little bit. Any feedback you can give us would be phenomenal. We want to provide as much value to you guys as possible. And last thing I will say is, and Catherine, I think just threw it in there, building an online platform. That has been a topic of conversation. A lot of our masterminds is people wanting to get their message out. They just don't know how to do it. Some people are introverts. I'm an introvert by nature. Over the years, I've become a little bit more of an extrovert just through practice of speaking and doing calls like this and videos and webinars and things like that. So we can definitely add value to that. But what I want to say on that is you don't necessarily have to do videos. You don't necessarily have to get in front of a camera. You can build your platform without that. If you're good on camera and you want to practice it, I think that is the best way to do it because it's really personal. It's face to face. People can see you and they can see your energy and see your message better. But if you don't want to do that, you can still build your platform without doing video. One of the things that I do when I don't feel like doing a video or when I don't feel like going on camera or something like that is I will just post a question. I'll just say, what do you guys think about this? And it may have to do with business, it may have to do with whatever. And I start building relationships that way because they'll comment, I'll comment back, and then maybe we private message each other, we get on a phone call. So that's a great way to get customers too. Real estate investors all the time ask me, how I get investors to invest in our real estate deals. And really it's through conversations. It's starting a conversation. So same thing with your guys' business. If you can start conversations online, whether it's video, whether it's a post here or there, it doesn't have to be complicated. And Chrissy, I'll let you jump in on this here in a second, but Facebook's free, Instagram's free. There are so many great ways to build your message and platform without spending money. I think kind of the last thing I'll say on that, and I'll let Chrissy jump in because she works on this all day long, is be consistent about it. If you post something and you get a little bit of traction on it, that's great. But as you continue to do it, marketing shows that you have to touch people way more times than you used to. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it used to be like 5 to 7 times you could put your message in front of someone and they would potentially do business with you. Now it's like, and Chrissy can tell me the numbers, 7, 9, 10. I think the number keeps going up as people.
12 to 15.
Is it 12 to 15 now? Okay, so that kind of proves the point. So be consistent with it. Be genuine with it. I think that's another big thing. People can see through the BS. If you're throwing things out there just to throw things out there and you're manipulating your message and trying to, change things to kind of do a bait and switch, if you will, people are going to see through that. So Chrissy, what do you want to add to that?
Yeah. And Tony, honestly, we could get together and put together an online platform type discussion. But relatability, you're going to build your platform off of relatability. Videos work so well because people see you, they see your face. Like these Zoom calls, when you can see somebody's face, see their reactions, how they're paying attention and things like that. That's why videos work so well. But building a platform is a lot based on relatability. I want to work with somebody that I feel like I can relate to or talk to or become friends with, something like that. And that's why you were talking about with real estate investors having that conversation. That's why getting to that point of the conversation and stuff works really well. But yeah, I know that Catherine was throwing that out there as a topic to go over, and it looks like Eric is on the same page there. So if we wanted to put something together for that, I would totally be game.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. We're wrapping up a little bit early. Does anybody else want to share anything before we jump off? All righty. We're going to send an email out here in the next probably few days. We'll send you probably a little bit of, some nuggets from these calls. We're going to share what else we're going to bring to the community here in the next 30 days, because I have a feeling that's about how long it's going to last. Probably another 30 days, people will be kind of locked up, if you will. So if you guys need anything else, let me know. We'd love to see you at one of our virtual mastermind events. And have a great week. And I hope everybody got a lot out of this, and we'll talk to you on our next call.
Have a great weekend.
Good to see you guys.
Bye.